So Jeff, I was doing a keynote in Australia. Great room. There was a harbor outside the window, and I'm paying attention to the harbor, but there are 300 people sitting in the room. And I tell the story about my own growing up and about my father, who was a big figure for me, and him having decided to take us fishing was not what we did in our family, but I think he really wanted to spend some time with me and make a real human connection. And instead of paying attention to the fact that we were fishing, I was reading Catch 22, very funny book by Joseph Heller. And my dad didn't stop and ask me what the book was about. He didn't tell me to stop reading because he wanted to talk to me. And it wasn't until later that I realized that there had been a missed opportunity. And when I told the story in this conference, afterwards, people came up to me and said, I need to have a conversation with my kids. One of them had been at dinner the night before and told me about how their kid had gotten into drugs and was making a lot of money and running horses and doing all kinds of very successful things in some way, but that he was very concerned and how he didn't know how to bridge the gap. And he left at least realizing that he needed to put a hand out and see if there would be a reach back and whether there was a possibility for a conversation.
With your with your research and study, is there a pathway to start bridging that gap? I mean, to because it's one thing to say, hey, reach out and talk to it, whether it's up or down in the generation. But do you in your courses do you teach them what to say, how to say it in a way that it'll be received and not rejected?
Yeah, we do. And we do role plays. So we can put them in a situation where maybe they're doing it with a peer or they're experiencing having that kind of conversation and see what kind of response they get. And they're having that conversation with somebody else who's also probably got the fears that if they go talk to their parent, they're going to be ignored or pushed back. And so there's really the opportunity for an opening there. And it may be harder to do it in the role play than it's going to be in real life. And they'll only know that by trying it. So it's rehearsal. It's getting some thoughts about what is this like, and what am I concerned about that I'm going to hear.